Hi, I'm Jim Humphrey with Imminent Threat Defense Firearms Training. And today, I'm going to show you how to do a basic field disassembly and assembly and lubrication of a Glock Model Pistol. Fundamentally, we're going to be following the instructions in the Preventive Maintenance Manual. Before I get started, of course, I want to make sure I don't have any live ammunition in the work area, and I'm going to check and double check this firearm is unloaded. I'm going to do that by visually and physically inspecting the chamber and the magazine well. I'm going to look away and I'm going to do it again. Absolutely sure this gun's unloaded. Let the slide go forward in an empty chamber. I'll do a press check one last time, make sure it's empty. Now I've got to get the trigger disengaged in order to take the slide off. In order to do that, I'm going to point it in a safe direction, pull the trigger. Now I've released the spring tension on the firing pin spring, and you can see the trigger is to the rear. The slide will only come off if the trigger is to the rear. I removed the slide by taking it out of battery, just a quarter inch or so, and pulling down on the slide lock. Both sides equally all the way to the bottom, and the slide just comes right off. That simple. Take out the recoil spring and the barrel, and there's your basic field strip.
Let's review that again. Check and double check the firearm is unloaded, point it in a safe direction, pull the trigger. Take the slide slightly out of battery, pull down and hold the slide lock. Let the slide come off the frame. Remove the recoil spring and the barrel. There you have a basic field strip. The most challenging part of this process is to manipulate this slide lock. It's small and it's spring loaded. You must pull down both sides equally and all the way to the bottom. You can get gadgets like this that will assist in gripping the slide lock to pull it down. There's an alternative method where you can turn the pistol upside down, push it against the workbench to take it out of battery, then pull in the slide lock, and then pull the receiver back. While those work, the standard method of the overhand grip is pretty easy to master once you've done it a couple of times. So it's the slide lock that gets most people. You've got to pull it down all the way and hold it, then release the slide. For cleaning and lubrication, we're going to need a solvent and a lubricant that are specifically made for use on firearms. There are these combination products as well that clean, lubricate, and protect all in one fluid. Some of these containers are fairly large. You can put them in smaller containers with these very handy needle applicators, and you should label all containers. The cleaning process starts with the barrel. We'll get a clean patch, put some solvent on it. Then we'll rub that solvent material on the feed ramp and the brass deflector, then run it through the bore. To allow that some soak time, we set the barrel aside while we work on the slide. Using a similar patch, we can wipe the breech face, the extractor, and any place in the slide that has carbon buildup or old oils that need to be removed. We can brush down the slide. Note I'm careful to hold the slide so the dirt falls away from the moving parts. Q-tips and pipe cleaners are very handy accessories for getting to those hard to reach spots. Now that the barrel has been sitting for a while and had a chance to soak, we can take the nylon brush to it. Being very careful to clean the feed ramp, making sure there's no carbon buildup on it and it's nice and shiny. Then we can take a nylon brush or a brass brush specific to the caliber and push it through the bore 5 to 10 times. Then we'll push dry cleaning patches through the bore until they come out clean. We'll take the nylon brush to the recoil spring, give it a quick brush. On the barrel, especially older ones like this one, you can see these wear points. And these wear points should all get a light coat of oil. At this point, we can do the first of the maintenance check. Inspect the barrel for any cracks, and I'll run through the slide bushing backwards to see there are no bulges in it. It checks out. Let's have a look at the slide. This is the breech face. There's the firing pin sticking out through the firing pin hole. At the back of the firing pin, we can pull it back and hear it click into the lock position. This is the extractor. This is the firing pin safety. It's important to note that we don't oil certain places on the slide. We don't put any oil in this hole here, in the back of the firing pin channel, the firing pin safety, or the firing pin hole. Again, We're going to oil those spots where we see wear and use just a light coat of oil. Inside here where the barrel rubs against the top of the slide. And then we'll take the oil that's left on our finger and put it inside the bushing where the barrel slides through. And then we'll put a drop or two of oil on each side of the slide in the grooves. At this point, a few more maintenance checks can be performed. Putting a little pressure on the firing pin and depressing the firing pin safety will allow the pin move forward and protrude. Holding that firing pin safety down and shaking the slide will cause that rattling sound as the firing pin moves back and forth. With the barrel installed, the recoil spring can be placed against this curve in the front of the barrel lug. Then the slide can be set aside. The receiver is simply wiped down and cleaned of all miscellaneous carbon and dirt. There are 5 points of lubrication on the receiver. Each of the 4 slide rails gets 1 drop and the connector gets 1 drop. Before installing the slide stop lever spring return should be tested. Then before locking the slide into its final position, you should ensure that all 4 slide guides are in their appropriate grooves. The magazine should be inspected. The follower should be tested for freedom of movement, inspection for cracks, any debris or dirt. The magazine should be just wiped clean with a dry rag. Do not apply oil to the magazine. Finally, we will complete the function checks. First, the trigger safety test, by attempting to pull the trigger without depressing the trigger safety. Then, the reset test, by holding the trigger back, actioning the slide, and feeling for the reset. And then, the empty magazine slide lockback test.
Well, that's pretty much all there is to it. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm Jim Humphrey with Imminent Threat Defense Firearms Training. Remember, enjoy your firearms, join the NRA, and be safe out there. Thanks for watching.